Hello, everybody. This is Spfp podcast, where you get to know about famous people's lives and what they go through, including gossips, paparazzi, extreme diets, etc. Today, we're going to talk about an important topic that clearly may be affecting more people than we could have ever imagined, and we are investing importance to it. Social pressure on famous people. Hi, I'm Santiago, and these are my two partners, Angie and SARA.
You may remember moments where famous people committed suicide or went through difficulties that could lead to depression, alcohol, drugs, or eating disorders, you name it. And as we know, there are reasons that end up in this kind of behavior and diseases, but we never really think about the situation that put them on that position.
Trying to be accepted by society has been, is, and will be hard. Sometimes you don't even fit the stereotypes, but for famous people, it's harder. Every movement they made is criticized by people they don't even know. One wrong movement and you are canceled. Don't fit the profile you're supposed to fit, you are canceled. Sometimes even being yourself get you canceled.
Nowadays, social media influences everyone's thoughts. This is a situation that we can perceive on almost everybody, and we can see it the most on teenagers that spend quite a long time on social media.
Reasons why we have an special guest, a teacher who treats almost every day with teenagers living under this society. Please welcome Mr. Elmer.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to our podcast. We have some questions for you about famous influencers and social media affects in some type of way your students. Someone you know and knew about.
Oh, thanks for inviting me to your program.
Okay, so how do you think social media stereotypes affect your students?
Oh, wow, that is an interesting question. So let me think. There is a lot of things that we have to consider. For example, in special moments that's today, nowadays, we are, for example, in a pandemic, and many students, not only students, I think many people are, for example, involved in social media. Remember, for example, the mass media right now are growing so fast. What's the problem? Students are, for example, always focused on the external opinions, and they're not thinking about what is really happening, or they're really happening to themselves. It's the most important, for example, to get a like. But that is not real. In a real life, that is not important. But students are thinking always, okay, if, for example, Calles doesn't give me a like, I don't feel very well. I feel, for example, frustrated, stressed, I feel sad, I'm feeling blue, these kind of things. So I think students are losing their time on those kind of social media because, for example, people don't like, for example, to read a book or be focused on real interest things. I think one of the most important things that we have to start to consider right now is how we are in front of these kind of situations. I think maybe teachers, parents, friends, all those people are involved in this problem. Because if you, for example, can check in your house, if you're in your house and you, your friend, your brother, your mother, your sister, all of them has a cell phone. And what are you doing? You're eating and you're on cell phone. You're doing homework, you're on cell phone. You're watching TV? No, you're really on cell phone. You are not really focused. I think maybe all of these are provoking stress in students because they are trying to copy the image of the other people. That's the most, I think that the biggest problem that we have right now. Because students want to be, for example, a YouTuber, want to be a TikToker, but who are the most important thing? To be a TikToker or to be a good student, to be a good person? People don't want to be enjoying life, especially students, because people lives in I don't know, something like a glass, could be. Because they are thinking, I want to use that, to wear that, I want to be in that place, I want to visit another. But what's your decision? What's your opinion? I think these are provoking a really big problem with stress in students and in parents as well. Because if the student or if their children are having problems, parents get stressed as well. Because they don't know how to control that. Okay? That's my opinion about that. So I think maybe it's good because you can, for example, be informed about many things around the world. That is so good. You can meet a lot of people and a lot of good things. But I think students, especially, even teachers or others, we are not prepared for controlling that. We don't have a preparation and education for using social media. Remember, take into account that on net there are a lot of fake news, a lot of fake information, and we are like an streaming. All people are behind that. I think this is one of the most biggest problems that we have right now.
And that's true, but it's not just that. I think one of the biggest problem, apart from that one, is the stereotypes of the models on Instagram, the bodies on TikTok. You know, these girls or boys get affected by the type of body their influencers they follow have, and the type of lifestyle they follow, and what they eat, their routines, those kind of things, and they lead to serious eating disorders, trying to fit the bodies of their idols, and trying to have their image and try to fit in that profile, because nowadays society is so toxic that even like in the introduction Sarah said, being yourself gets you canceled. Social media, it's always fake. There's almost anything real on social media. Their image, some people, well, almost kind of all the influencers fake their personality because they're afraid to show who they really are. So I think kids or teenagers that are on social media right now think that that's the kind of way they have to be, and that's not really true. They really have to be themselves. The authenticity is what makes them, but society is not letting them. And society is also very two-faced, fake, because they be saying at one point, yeah, be yourself, just be you, do you, it's your life. But they also be criticizing when people do them and do their lives.
That's totally right. That's the things, those things that you mentioned right now. So, especially, for example, in a diet. For example, one of the most important questions is, what are you doing to stay healthy? If you, for example, start to think on it, many people think that I don't need to eat. For example, look at this. For example, here, for example, in our restaurant in school, there are, for example, a group of students. There is a group of students, for example, that at lunchtime, they say, no, I just only want protein and rice, no more. That really, they are, for example, students are growing. They need to eat, and they need to, for example, stay healthy. They need to, for example, you are starving, you need to, for example, eat a lot of things. But as you mentioned, no, many people are trying to follow stereotypes. That's the big problem, but because people has not a real identity. I think that is another problem that we have, especially, for example, in girls. Because students are like boys, I have no problem, or they have no problem with that, because they say, I'm fat, I'm just like that.
Maybe they do, in some type of way. When they try to copy someone else's, like a man in social media, like that stereotype of body, they have to be manly, and that time stuff, like they have to treat someone the way they think because someone did it, and they think that's the image they have to follow.
That's exactly what I'm saying. See, they have, for example, an idol. And what's the problem with that? I think maybe we have to think it for the next episode.
All of that is true, and the society it's been like this for years, but we have to love ourselves and be who we are really. And be who we really are. No matter who you are, where you're from, your skin color, your gender identity, just speak yourself.
So thank you for listening to us, to PSPF podcast, and we hope to have another topic to talk in the next episode. Thank you.